So now I would like to give the floor to Dr. Maya Devi, Deputy General Manager, NABARD, Lucknow.
As the great novelist Roald Dahl had said, nature doesn't distinguish between the rich and the poor, but its impact does. He said, the rich has enormously resentful of bad weather. It is one discomfort that their money cannot do anything with. But I don't think so. If you have rain today, the rich has so many ways and means of enjoying it, but not the poor. When there was no rain in Kerala for quite some time and a day it rained, and we were very happy because we were looking forward to it. My mate came to my house and said, "Oh my God, it rained today. My grandson will not have work." That is it. Where something which is good for some people, it will be bad for some other people. However, nature never distinguishes between the rich and the poor, but it impacts this. This is called vulnerability, where people are vulnerable to the nature's force. The resilience is the ability to withstand, to recover, to come back to shape after bending, stretching and being compressed. Here is where the social activists, the scientists are all here to take care. How we can bring back the people who have been affected by disasters back to the normal stage. Here is where technology comes into being. A very classic example is the super cyclone of 1999 and the super cyclone of 2013, which hit Orissa. Both were under category 5. When 10,000 people perished during the super cyclone of 1999, only 45 fatalities were there during the super cyclone of 2013. If you really see it, the government and the governance make a lot many difference. So when it comes to the coastal area, whenever anybody go and tell a person that tomorrow waves may come, tomorrow you may have a cyclone, it is very, very difficult for the people to move out of their house leaving everything behind. It is there that the governance come, and it is there that the Orissa government has really made people come out of their home and go to the shelter centers. It is where, as a community people, as a community social activist, we all have our role in it. Coming to my presentation, climate change is something which has been going on at the national, international, so many areas. We have come across climate change, and there are so many programs regarding climate change. And as a NABARDian, I am very proud to be here and to tell you that NABARD has been selected as the only national implementing entity to handle the Adaptation Fund, the Green Climate Fund and the National Fund for Climate Change. Climate change is a risk multiplier in India, in everywhere. But because of our huge population, because of our inherent problems, because of our mismanagement or lack of appropriate governance which we find in some other countries, it multiplies in many ways. So NABARD's key climate finance innovations we have participatory grant models, we have climate resilient livelihood programs, we have participatory loan models, infra finance and we finance bank projects taking into consideration the environmental aspect also. Major initiatives by NABARD under the National Resource Management include the watershed development, the tribal development projects and the sustainable farming system like the system of rice intensification and the system of wheat intensification. Innovative financial models where we are providing grant and loan include the umbrella program for natural resource management, the rural infrastructure development, and we provide technical support. Now coming to things, climate change adaptation in dryland areas. These are some of the pilot projects on climate change which NABARD has initiated. Climate proofing of watershed projects, crop and weather advisory services model and agroforestry plantations. NABARD and climate finance. What I have been telling, there are two types of things which comes under climate change, adaptation and mitigation. Like sea erosion is happening, but the people have to be moved away from it. That is adaptation. And mitigation, the sea may erode, so that you transplant the people, or you make the people aware about it and move them to a place where they are not affected. This is mitigation and adaptation. And the adaptation fund of the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change has an adaptation fund and a green climate fund, where both adaptation and mitigation has taken place. It is not only for fisheries, but fisheries is one of the project, or one of the main projects, where you can see that there are many people affected because of nature. It happens mostly with the fisheries program. And fisheries, especially fish culture and fish ponds, are a great carbon sink. That is, the wetlands and farm ponds are areas where carbon sink happens, and it is economically friendly to culture fish if you are using the right practices. These are the 3 climate change funds which are now, for which NABARD is the only implementing entity, and we have sanctioned 5 projects under adaptation fund of the UN with a total outlay of, it has a total outlay of 9.8 million, of which we have 7.3 million has already been used. Now 2.54 is in the pipeline, so there is no scope for that particular fund. The other fund is of US dollar 934 million, of which project concept has been submitted for $46 million. We have enough and more amount in this fund. NGOs, NGOs, state governments can prepare projects, livelihood projects, which take into consideration environmental aspect to be financed under these projects. And then there is the Government of India's National Adaptation Fund on Climate Change, with a total outlay of US dollar 663 million. It is 350 crore, which different projects can be considered. First fund on adaptation fund of the UN United Nations on climate change has been approved to Krishna district in Andhra Pradesh for integrated mangrove fish farming systems for coastal areas against sea level rise. And there are many projects which are in the which has been approved, which is coming under for lively programs for fisher people. So these are some of the things which you can take the guidelines from our nabard.org website, and appropriate projects can be wherein the component of adaptation and mitigation can be brought into, and livelihood program. So this is it. My on as a